Good morning. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. For those joining us, it's the 8th of February. It is a Friday. Yes, the final day of the very short week that you probably had. And we have our lovely guests inside the studio.
Yes, indeed, Ryan. We've got a few guests in the studio. And I must tell you, they're from a Past Pupils Association, a kind of an association when it comes to past pupils I've never heard of before. Let me introduce our guests to you first. It's Mr. Jude Pillai and Mrs. Dinelli Pitigala Arachi from the Candy Schools Past Pupils Association. Hi guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Jude, would you be able to tell us what this association is about?
Well, Ryan, now it's very unique, as you said, you know. So we are the first batch of schools. It's basically comprising of 12 schools in Kandy, where we formed an association in Colombo, and that is called Kandy Schools Past Pupils Association. So it is very unique because as 12 schools coming together in Colombo, so it is because what really it is the 12 schools, though we studied in Kandy, we come to Colombo together and have a unique event. And we did this and it was called Kandy Bash. Through Kandy Bash, now this time what we are going to do is we are going to organize a musical show.
Oh, okay.
And this musical show is going to comprise of artists who studied in these 12 schools in Kandy. And so that show is going to be held in Colombo on the 17th.
If I'm to stop you there a little bit, Jude, would you just be able to tell us, okay, this association, what are the schools involved in this association, the 12 schools you just mentioned that formed it together?
Yeah, now there are 6 boys schools and 6 girls schools. The 6 boys schools are Trinity, St. Anthony's, Kingswood, Dharamaraja, Vidyartha and St. Sylvester's. And the girls schools are Mahamaya High School, Hillwood, Pushpadana, St. Anthony's Convent and Good Shepherd Convent. Those are the 12 schools.
Now, Dinley, the idea behind coming together of 6 schools and 6 schools from boys schools and 6 girls schools, is it because, I mean, coming to Colombo, a little piece of home, and that you all of a sudden decided that this is a little piece of home that we can create here in Colombo? Was that part of the idea of the Past Pupils Association?
It was basically to strengthen our friendship, to gather more Kandy people, you know, and have the unity. That was our objective at the very beginning. We wanted to have, actually it started to have fun, you know, with all the Kandy schools.
Is it easy? These are 12 schools.
Yes.
Everyone has their own little character, and you have your own little rivalry going there. How did you manage on the first year, 2007, when you decided to have an association?
It was a great year, actually. All 12 schools, we didn't have any problems, any issues when we had that event, and it was all fun. And we didn't have a single cent when we started it, but gradually now it has come to fun and fund. That's what we are doing this year. It has become a fundraiser. So we are all like one family, and we want to inculcate the unity and strengthen, you know, friendship. That is our main idea.
Yeah, just to now, Dinelli, each of these schools, they have their own Past Pupils Associations, Old Boy Unions, etc.
Yes.
Different schools, I'm sure, call it in different ways. So, is it? How did you all get together, really? Did all the associations speak to the other associations and then just, you know, meet up, or how was it initiated?
So when we had the first meeting, we called all the OBU and OGA presidents, and we formed the association.
That's in Colombo.
Colombo, yes.
That was initiated in 2007,
Yes.
where we spoke to all the OBA presidents and OGA presidents, and we said everybody to come for this event. That's how we initially started. So we started with about 1,000 people. Now, as at last year, when all the 12 schools finished the program, we had 3,500 people attending this event called Kandy Bash.
Ryan, starting off a club with 1,000 people is not a small number.
In 0 cents.
Exactly.
And we used to have all games and
All fun.
So the initial activities that were done from with the club was it first initiated in Kandy, or the first event itself, did you have it in Colombo?
in Colombo.
Because if I'm not mistaken, most of you who are involved in the project itself, all of you have lives here in Colombo, even though you're all schooled in Kandy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So what we wanted is, though we schooled in Kandy, just to bring back memories, we wanted to have something in Colombo, so that we could get all the Colombo people who are like Kandy people living in Colombo together one day. So that was the main idea. And then fellowship and friendship through that, you know, to meet, to have a bigger fraternity. Through that, only that we had to start an association to do something bigger than Kandy Bash. Kandy Bash was just an event where we joined together, but for us to do something bigger, we had to form an association and have a legal aspect to it, so that we needed to raise funds later on after the 6 years. In order, there was a unique thing that we wanted to do, so that we wanted to have accommodation for all the 12 schools traveling to Colombo to find a place to give them accommodation. So that was the main reason that we formed the association, and that's why this musical show is being held, in order to make sure that we fund this hostel project in Colombo to have all the school children traveling to Colombo to have accommodation.
So this hostel is for current pupils or past pupils?
Current pupils.
Current pupils. So why would they need hostels in Colombo if they are schooling in Kandy?
When they come to Colombo for various events, they have no proper place to stay.
Oh, is it?
So because of that, we thought of giving.
And also there is a huge cost involved.
Yes.
That's true.
Normally, like if you take one college, like for example, if you take Trinity, they cost about 1,600, 700 rupees per student
Per
to
day.
come to Colombo per day.
And also, Ryan, I believe this is an issue which not only schools in Kandy are facing, it's an issue that I think a lot of outstation schools are facing, because a lot of tournaments, events and stuff are co-organized in Colombo.
Yeah.
And
Being
what
the
the organizers in Colombo don't realize is the fact that there is a lot more involved for a school from outstation
Yeah.
to take part in the tournament. So I think what you
we
guys
have
are doing is great.
Yes.
So the uniqueness of this is, while we give the support to the Kandy schools, we will also, as and when availability, we will invite other outstation schools also to come and use the facility. So that also will be open depending on the availability. So if say a Mathura outstation school want to come and stay in Colombo, still we will make them that facility available for them as and when on availability.
Well,
Okay.
the construction of a hostel is a monumental task. I mean, it's a building. You're not just talking about a couple of scholarship foundations.
The problem, I understand. I understand what I mean. It's going to be a huge cost. But only thing what happened here is, we have a place that we have identified at the moment. It's a Sarvo there, which is in Mount Lavinia, and that place has bedding and a hostel kind of facility, which is available. And they wanted to like help her out to like make it like a CSR project.
Very
So
good.
we have gone to them, we have spoken to them. By end of this week, we will be signing the agreement for 2 years. So for the hostel rent we need money, plus for the maintenance of it we need money.
That's
So
very good.
everything that we are going to find it through Kandy Bash. That was one program that we wanted to
Kandy
have,
Bash.
but due to that fact, because we needed more money, we are doing the musical show in order to raise funds for
Okay,
it.
let's talk about the musical show, Kandy Vibes. It's happening.
Yeah.
It is also special when it comes to the presentation, performers. Can you tell us more about that?
So all these artists studied in Kandy. They all from Kandy schools, and they are voluntarily participating in this event. So they didn't ask any money for this show, and we have Irangani, which is Irangani Serasinga. They are all legends. They are actually, we have to call them legends from Kandy. Mrs. Irangani Serasinga, Mr. Kirti Pasquale, T.M. Jayaratna,
Chandrika Sirivardhana.
Mrs. Chandrika Sirivardhana, Romesh Sugadapala, Sanat Vimalasiri,
Suraj Mapa.
Suraj Mapa, Clifford Richards, many more. Actually, there are about 50, maybe 52 artists. So,
In one night.
In one
yeah,
night.
one night, but we have only 30 items.
Balance will be like
But
guests.
yeah, that will
Ryan,
be
what
the
you're
guest.
mentioning is probably not
And-
your kind of music, but they are big in terms of Sri Lankan names.
These are names that I've known, I've read on in the papers, and I'm very proud that they have decided to step up and even do it for free
Yes.
in names of this very special project. If you could just tell us, Kandy Vibes is happening when and where, and tickets.
Yeah, it's on the 17th of February at 6:30 at Water's Edge.
Water's Edge.
And the tickets are priced at 2,000 and 1,500, and
It will be available at Torano.
Torana and Water's
And
Edge.
Water's Edge.
Water's Edge. Oh. So, and of course, it's not just for Candians to come, also for
Anybody can. Yeah, we love to have anybody.
So even though
music lovers.
the show is in Colombo, I'm sure you guys are expecting a lot of turnout from Candy schools as well.
Well, truly, if you
Yeah,
see,
we
we have about 1,100 seats available.
But we have
And,
invited Candy people as well.
from Candy too,
Yes.
but then we need to sell that tickets. That whatever money that comes from the ticket will solely go for the hostel project. So we are basically inviting as much as people possible, though you may be not from a Candy school, but just come and join the
I mean, definitely, Ryan.
Yeah.
You may not have to be a past
Yeah,
pupil
that's
from the
true.
school, but it's still going for a good cause.
Yeah, and also if you're a very big fan of Sri Lankan music, I mean, with the names that was mentioned earlier, some 52 names, and putting them in a bill that has 30 presentations for 2,000 and 1,000 rupees is in a matter of speaking a bargain. I mean, for one night of music, and it goes for a very, very worthy cause. So we'd like to invite everyone. It's the 17th of the month. That's Water's Edge. It's Candy Vibes. Even if you're not from Candy, if you're from Colombo, if you're looking for a night of great music, and for a worthy cause, please come in and join them. Here's also one of my questions. 12 schools. When you started, there has to be like a point that you had to convince everyone, we really need to do this. I mean, there's always camaraderie, but how did you manage to overlook that I am from Trinity, I'm
Well,
from St.
definitely,
Anthony, but I'm from Candy? Like, it's always been a question.
Ryan, I mean, inter-school rivalry here, even in
It's-
Colombo, is huge.
it's huge.
And I know for a fact that it's the same in Candy. I mean,
Candy.
especially with rugby and inter-school Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
That's the thing.
right?
So how did you manage to not look down with the schools and look that you're Candian? Always wonder about that.
Well, if you really look at it, yeah, there is rivalry within the school when they play. But once you leave school, I think that is why I said there is something unique in Candy people. We always want to meet, we want to be together, So due to that fact, it was not that difficult because we always want to see the people that we couldn't see, after we left school. Normally, if you're in Colombo, you see these people. If you've studied in a Colombo school, you see each
You
other.
see them.
But now, when you come to Colombo, you miss them a lot. So, getting together was a big, it was like a dream to meet people that we have not met for 12 years or being in school. So, due to that fact, it was not difficult. But as you said, I mean, it is unique. It is something that all can't do. So, it's a very, very unique situation.
And from all these 12 schools, which two great schools are you from?
Yeah, basically she's from high school and I'm from St. Anthony's. So, if you see now, our association is formed with 2 people each from each OB and OGAs. So we have 24 in the association. So we are one of those 2.
And what are the designations that you all hold?
Well, you're the...
So I'm one of the patrons, and he's a president.
I'm the president. Like the first term, it's very tough to deal with 24 brains.
Yes.
So how does it work? Do you all have elections or committee appointments every year?
Well, we have a constitution which we say that the president can stay for maximum of 3 years. But I'm sure that within 2 years' time there'll be a change and somebody else will take over. So we meet once a month to discuss what's to be done. So our focus was try to do only Candy Bash and try to achieve our requirement. But then we had to do another show in order to make sure that our funds are safe so that we could sign that agreement. And the third thing is we are looking at more opportunities of getting the Candy schools together and organizing more events in the future so that we could have that brotherhood and sisterhood that we have in Colombo diversified to Candy so that to see that they will be as one family and support each other rather than talk about the rivalry, I mean, just try to inculcate that in Candy.
How is the planning process when it comes to projects? Like, does someone make a suggestion and